Okay. Good evening. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Kettering City Council. Today's date is November 8th, 2022. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please bow your heads. God of all nations, we give you thanks for the freedom we exercise and the many blessings of democracy we enjoy in these United States of America. We ask for your protection and guidance for all who devote themselves to the common good, working for justice and peace at home and around the world. We lift up all of our duly elected leaders and public servants, those in the military and law enforcement. Heal us from our differences and unite us, O Lord, with a common purpose, dedication, and commitment to achieve liberty and justice in the years ahead for all people, and especially those who are most vulnerable in our midst. Amen. I'd like to recognize our Miami Valley Communications Council TV operator, Mike Speroni. Mike, thank you for your assistance, as he waves. Bob Scott has an excused absence this evening, and I will call on Mrs. Fisher right now for a motion to approve the minutes.
Well, Your Honor, I have reviewed both the council and workshop minutes for October the 25th, and I do find they are in order, and I move for approval.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Being none, call the roll.
Mrs. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Klepass,
Yes.
Mrs. Hall,
Yes.
Ms. Duval,
Abstain.
Mr. Duke,
Yes.
Mayor Lehner.
Yes. We'll now move on to proclamations and special presentations. We do have one proclamation tonight. It's regarding the Sugar Plum Festival of Tree Days, and I'm going to call on Mr. Duke.
Thank you, Your Honor. Whereas the Sugar Plum Festival of Trees holiday event is one of Terrific Women in Giving, TWIG's, premier events designed to raise money to provide support for pediatric behavioral and mental health services at Dayton Children's Hospital, and whereas TWIG's was founded in 1965 as an auxiliary to the Dayton Children's Hospital and currently has nearly 225 members who actively participate in fundraising efforts. And whereas proceeds from the Sugar Plum Festival of Trees is designated solely to benefit the TWIG's pledge of $1 million for pediatric behavioral and mental health services at Dayton Children's Hospital. And whereas this fun, festive event kicks off with a VIP reception on Thursday, November 10, which is the official opening of bids for the holiday trees and decor, and will end in a finale on Sunday, November 13th, with awarding of decorated trees to the highest bidder. And whereas throughout the weekend, several activities are planned, such as Swigs with Twigs, silent auction items, a visit with Santa, boutiques, and a showcase of decorated trees. Now, therefore, Peggy Lehner does hereby proclaim November 10th to the 13th, 2022, to be Sugar Plum Festival Tree Days in the city of Kettering. And on behalf of City Council, City Administration, and the Kettering community, does hereby express our sincere gratitude to TWIG's for improving the quality of the children in the Miami Valley region. Signed, Peggy Lehner, Mayor, City of Kettering.
Thank you, Bruce. I now would like to invite Laura Lewis and Glenda Abston, TWIG Festival coordinators, to accept the proclamation this evening. Two of you come up? Okay. Just come on up here. Here is your proclamation, and you're welcome to say a few words. And this is Barbara, not, not Glenda. Okay, all right, well, welcome, and you go up to the microphone, please.
We want to hear about Swig.
Could you move over
Microphone.
here to the microphone, so they're catching that throughout the city. Just step up here.
Right by that
Right there, the microphone in the middle. Great. There you go. There you go. Barbara, you can stand next to her.
Swigs with Twigs is actually a beer and wine tasting. So it's we have craft beers and 5 unique wines. And so if you care to join us Friday evening, you'll have a chance to taste 5 of the 10 offerings. So you can have all beer, all wine, or a combination of both. And if you like everything, we'll sell you another card and you can have some more.
Will you send the Uber for us, please?
I'm sorry.
Send the Uber.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
But the festival has been going on, this is our 55th year. We have at least 200 items will be on display at the American Legion. And also we have, I don't know how many items we're going to have at the Kettering Arts and Crafts Holiday event at Latham Center. So there will be items and choices for everyone. The items at the American Legion are actually an online auction, so you can start bidding Thursday night and go
Keep
until...
drinking. Keep drinking all those.
Drinking's not till Friday.
Oh, okay.
But, we're hoping that might help the bidding a little bit. And then we have the event on Friday night, and then Saturday, it's open to the public from 10 to 7 to view the trees and hopefully make some bids. And then Sunday, there won't be anything open to the public, but the bidding will continue until 2 p.m. So we're very proud to have this proclamation. We appreciate your support, and we certainly hope that you'll join us for one or more of the activities.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And we are all part of the whole effort that we see at Children's Hospital these days to address the mental health issues of our kids. And it is just something we should, as a community, take great pride in. It's just awesome what's going on. So thank you. Okay, there are no public hearings this evening. If we have anyone in the audience who wishes to speak on the legislation that is before us today, you can do so now. Anyone wishing to speak with comments or new information about the legislation on tonight's agenda, and there's not a whole lot of it, may do so at this time. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Speaker must state their name and address. Comment should be addressed to council. If you have comments that is not about the legislation on tonight's agenda, there will be an opportunity for those to be heard later in the meeting. After all, that's as far as I need to go. So, is there anyone tonight who wishes to speak? It doesn't look like it. All right. Well, thank you. We now will move to ordinances in second reading. There are no ordinances in second reading. We'll move to resolutions. Call on Mrs. Fisher to introduce legislation.
Your Honor, I do have a resolution authorizing the city manager to contract with Montgomery County Public Defender's Commission and the Montgomery County Public Defender Office to provide mandated legal counsel to indigent persons appearing in the Kettering Municipal Court. The estimated cost is $50,000. That is in the 2023 budget. It's requested by the Law Department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Schwederman, I believe you have some comments.
Thank you, Your Honor. This resolution will authorize us to enter into an agreement with Montgomery County Defender Commission and the Montgomery County Public Defender's Office to provide mandated legal services for indigent persons appearing in the Kettering Municipal Court. This is a resolution that we pass annually. The estimated cost for 2023 is $50,000. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Klepass?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Duke?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution to make supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Kettering, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. The total net transfers in this resolution is $259,300. It's requested by the Finance Department. I move for approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Do we have any comments from city staff? Mr. Schwedeman.
Thank you, Your Honor. The first item of for the supplemental this evening is $17,000 related to our EMS billing services. The estimated revenue for 2022 is exceeding projections from our 2022 budget. There is an administrative fee based upon the revenue collected. So because revenues are a little higher, our expenses are also a little higher, and we'll be appropriating $17,000 for those additional expenditures. We also have a supplemental appropriation of $242,300 for roadway and street surfacing improvements, where bid prices were received over the budgeted amounts in our 2022 CIP projects. Additional funding is necessary for the 2022 Curb, Sidewalk, and Drive Approach Program, which is $149,200, and the asphalt program and thoroughfare improvements, which is $93,100, bringing that total to $242,300. We'll also be requesting a transfer from the general fund for that amount to the capital improvement fund. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, do we have any questions for Mr. Schwedeman? Okay, seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Kleipas?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Duke?
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes. There are no ordinances in first reading this evening. I would like to call on Shauna Kaczynski if any certifications and petitions.
Your Honor, we did not have any certifications or petitions this evening.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll move to the manager's report and the community update. Call on Mr. Schwedeman.
Thank you, Your Honor. The first thing is just another reminder that we are currently in the middle of Medicare open enrollment. And if residents need help with or assistance with that enrollment, they can contact our senior services at the Kettering Connection at 296-3330. The deadline is December the 7th. Leaf pickup, we are currently working in District 2 in our second round of leaves. So our crews spent almost a month in the first round through all of the districts. Leaves are certainly following earlier this year than in years past, so the first round took quite a bit longer than normal. We started the second round yesterday. Our crews worked last Saturday and will work again this Saturday. If you have questions about where we are throughout the city, you can watch our social media, or you can contact our Public Service Department at 296-2472. Just a reminder that on Friday, November the 11th at 11 a.m., the city will be hosting a Veterans Day ceremony at Delco Park at our Veterans Plaza there. We encourage everyone to attend that event. It should last about a half an hour. Just a reminder that for the upcoming holiday for Thanksgiving, the city offices, administrative offices will be closed on Thursday, November 24th, and Friday, November 25th. The collection for trash on Thursday, the 24th, will be delayed one day. So Thursday will be collected Friday, Friday will be collected Saturday. Small Business Saturday, National Small Business Saturday, will take place on November 26th. So we encourage all of our residents to shop our local businesses on that day. We do have a number of changes in our council meeting schedule due to the holidays and special meetings. So just want to go over that with you all. Our first meeting in December will be on the first Tuesday, December the 6th. That will start with a budget workshop at 5:30, followed by our regular workshop, and then we'll move upstairs at 7:30 for the council meeting. We will then have a meeting that following Tuesday, December 13th, with a regularly scheduled workshop at 6 p.m. and the council meeting at 7:30. The joint meeting with the school board will be held on Tuesday, November 29th at 6 p.m. That meeting will be held in the community room at fire headquarters. Your Honor, that's all I have for you for tonight's community update. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to city council reports, and Mrs. Fisher? Oh, yeah. Okay, I've been reminded we are to take any public comment on non-legislative items at this point. I don't believe anyone here is to speak, but if you are, please stand up now. Okay, thank you. We will now move on to city council reports.
Well, Your Honor, while we've been very busy, I'm just going to highlight this past weekend, and it's, I know a lot of us went to Dancing with the Stars, which was awesome, good fundraiser for our, the Police Foundation. What strikes me most about that is it is a cross-section of people from our business community, people from our schools, and people from the city. And great event, great participation, great dancers. And then less than 9 hours later, I'm at Fairmont to do the Fort 5K, which is a fundraiser for scholarships for girls basketball. It's in memory of Melissa Fortner, who passed away way too young. And what was so funny is Jamie Drosick was the MC at the Police Foundation, and I show up and we're ready to start, and she's the MC for the run. And then I kind of turned sideways, and there's Jim Berlon, and there's Dan Van Handorf. And so my only point is that our city has a lot of really great folks that serve in multiple ways and in multiple perspectives. And so my heart was just warmed and full of pride, just watching that all unfold. And so that's my report.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Kleepats.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to add to what Jackie said about that, the Kettering Police Foundation dancing with the Kettering Stars. It was really a true community event. I think the chief said there was 314 people there. Big crowd, place was packed. Everybody had a good time, but it was a community event. It was really a lot of Kettering. And one of the featured dancers that evening, Mike Miller, is here tonight. So we thank you for your participation in that. You did great.
You want to do an encore?
Then on November 2nd was the annual Employee Awards Program. This year it was held at the Presidential because there's so many people receiving length of service awards. But I just want to mention one thing. Our colleague Bruce Duke received a 35-year award that morning. So congratulations, Mr. Duke, for that. And
Mr. Kleepats, who else received an award that evening,
That morning.
that morning?
Who else had their hand?
oh, I had one, yeah. But it wasn't 35 years. Yeah. We had, I think there was a few other 35s and a 40, wasn't there? Yeah, so, isn't that unbelievable, huh? That's great. And last thing, Mark had mentioned that there is a small business Saturday coming up at the end of the month. But as I always say, don't wait till Small Business Saturday. Shop our small businesses every day. So that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Jill?
Yep. First, I just want to thank God that Mayor Lehner is okay and is doing well after her health scare. Glad to have her back with us tonight. Second, just hope everyone got out to vote today and participate in our democratic process. And it's important to vote for leaders that represent citizens' interests. And then lastly, I have to say all the credit to this goes to the city staff and previous city councils, but the Giving Tree started yesterday for Kettering, and what an amazing program that is. To provide Christmas presents to kids in Kettering school districts that may not be able to get them. It goes through the guidance counselors at the schools, and then here at the city at North and South Government Center, Rosewood Art Center, Kettering Fitness, Rec Center. People can come and get tags from the trees to support a family for gifts this December. And the gifts actually come back to the where do they come back to? Back to the city. Yes, and the volunteers, and then it goes back to the parents to give to the kids, which is really, really great model. So amazing program. So glad that you guys spearheaded that.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and Mr. Scott's not here, so Lisa.
I have a few, but I'll go fast, I promise. As others have said, it was a pleasure to attend the Dancing with the Kettering Stars. Thank you to the Police Foundation for a great night. That was my first time attending, and I'm excited for next year. And I want to congratulate Kara Swift, who won. She is a Leadership Academy graduate. Bruce and I would just like to point that out.
Did you learn to dance?
Yes, absolutely. We had a class, yeah. So a couple weeks ago, myself, my son Alex, and one of our dogs attended Wagaween at the rec. It was easily the most adorable event of the year. Little dogs running around costumes. It was amazing. I encourage everyone to go next year. About the Leadership Academy, we hope to see all of our past Leadership Academy participants Thursday at Eudora at 5:30. It's a chance for all of us, and there's quite a few of you in this room, to let the current class know why ours was the best class ever. So make sure you're there. And lastly, I want to thank all the poll workers who spent the day at voting locations today. That is a long, hard job, and it's so important, and they're so appreciated. So thank you to all the poll workers. That's all I have.
Thank you. And Mr. Duke?
Thank you, Your Honor. The only comment I would make is that at Dancing with the Stars, the person that raised the most money was also a Kettering Leadership Academy graduate, Bob Bonavon, who was representing Dorwood Optimist. So there you go. Dorwood scored. That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you. And Tony, thanks for those kind words. I appreciate it. It's been a long 35 years.
Thank you, Mr. Duke. Thank you all for your reports. I'm going to take my time tonight to sort of take a personal privilege. As many of you probably know, I did have a minor stroke a couple weeks ago. And it was one of those wake-up calls, and I learned something that night that I think is important to share with all the citizens of our community. What turned out to be a rather minor event could have been very, very significant if I had not known what I needed to do when I experienced symptoms. So I'd like to just go over some of those things that everyone in this room and watching tonight needs to know about how to spot a stroke and learn the warning signs and act fast. And act fast is the most critical thing. Strokes happen very quickly and with absolutely no warning. I was out planting flowers and bushes with Make a Difference Day that morning. I felt fine, I felt great. And all of a sudden I couldn't talk. Just came on like that. The most common warning sign of a stroke is numbness or weakness in the face, arms, or legs, mostly on one side of the body. Impaired vision in one or both eyes, difficulty walking, dizziness, and loss of balance. Stroke sufferers also might seem confused or have difficulty talking or understanding other people when spoken to, and that's what I experienced. Sometimes a stroke is accompanied by a sudden headache, too. I didn't have that. The quick way to remember the warning signs of a stroke is the acronym FAST. Face, is one side of the face drooping or is it numb? Ask the person to smile. If their smile is uneven or lopsided, be aware. Arms. Is one arm weak or numb? Ask the person to raise both arms. Does one arm drift downwards? Speech. Is the speech slurred? Have them repeat a simple sentence like the sky is blue. Is the person able to correctly repeat the words? And the most critical of all issues is time. Is it time to call 911? If someone shows any of these symptoms, call 911 immediately to begin emergency care. It is important that you do not drive yourself or having someone having the stroke-like symptoms drive. Make a note of the time symptoms began to share with the responder. And the reason why this timing is so important is there are medication today that can stop a stroke in its tracks, but it must be given within 4 hours of the onset of symptoms. If you go past that 4 hours, they will not give you that medication. What can become a minor incident can suddenly become a life-changing or even fatal incident. So just think, 4 hours you've got from beginning to end, so get going. Thank you for taking this time to listen tonight. I'm glad to be back with everyone. I expect full recovery. The only symptom I have right now is I tend to tire easily, and so I have permission to take a nap without any guilt and with no excuses. So if I'm in the middle of a meeting and say, sorry, I'm going to take a nap, so be it. So thank you. That concludes our meeting tonight with no further business to come before City Council. Our next regularly scheduled City Council meeting will be November 22nd, 2022, and this meeting is adjourned.